Okay, going on to chapter 9. Chapter 9 is the voices, the human voices, singing voices, and the musical families of the world. Okay, so there's some musical family names that we give to the instruments of the world. In chapter 10, we'll look at the Western European orchestral instruments. And then also in this chapter 9, we're going to do the registers. So the voices, timbre, timbre, Timber, timbre. That means the quality of the sound, the characteristic of the sound, or the color. Families of the instruments and the registers. Okay, so I'm going to start with registers actually. Registers just really means what range of the spectrum of sound they sing or play at. So these are the voices, the human voices. The bass, you can see, sings the lowest. So imagine that's like the lowest floor of the building. The baritone can sing the low notes, not quite as low, but a little bit higher than the bass. So you go up the elevator a little bit. The tenor continues up the elevator, can sing pretty low, not as low as the baritone or the bass, and higher than both of them. So tenor is the high male voice. We have a contralto, which I'm not going to show you an example of. You could also call it a contratenor. It's a voice that crosses the range of the male and the female voices. That's like Bruno Mars or the guy from Maroon 5, Adam Levine. They have that countertenor voice, or a low woman's voice like Adele. Alto is the lowest normal woman's voice. There's more altos than there are contraltos. And soprano is the highest woman's voice. So the soprano's at the top of the building. We go down a little bit in how high they can sing to the alto, then the contralto. There's this woman's voice called the mezzo-soprano, which is down here. And the mezzo-soprano can pretty much sing anything an alto or a soprano can sing. Okay? So I'm going to go through examples of all of those voices and let you hear them. But first I want to point out to you on slide 61, there's this really cool little video. I'm not going to show it to you now. But if you look at that, it's like they take a medical camera and they put it down these 4 people's throats, 2 women, 2 men, a soprano, alto, tenor, and a bass. And they film their vocal folds while they sing. So you can watch that. It's really cool to see it. And you can see that the male vocal folds are bigger than the female vocal folds. Now I'm going to go through all of the voices so you can hear a little example of each one, because you will have to listen for these on the exam and be able to say, oh, that's the soprano, or oh, that's the mezzo or the alto, the tenor, the baritone, or the bass. Okay, not all of them, but you need to be able to know them. Okay, so over here, this starting right about 6 minutes and 21 seconds, this is the example I'll give you of a soprano. So to help you tell them apart, listen to the music as well. But a soprano by nature sounds more like a bird. So they have a very high sounding voice, and it sounds effortless and very clear like a bell. Okay? This is a mezzo-soprano. The mezzo-soprano is singing the song Carmen, Habanera from Carmen by Bizet. Mezzo-soprano can sing really low and really high. She sounds a bit deeper. She can hit the high notes, but she sounds a bit deeper in her chest. Okay, that's the mezzo. It's easy to hear that one because it starts with cellos. And the soprano, starting at 621, is with the piano. So if you just remember that, you can tell the piano is the soprano, The cellos is with the mezzo. Then the violins, the whole strings, are with the alto. This is the alto, right at about 21 seconds. She also sings about Zion, so you could write down that this is sacred. Zion is associated with the Christian religion. Okay, that is the alto voice. Now we go to the male voices. So you have three women's voices. Sopranos with piano, mezzos with the cellos, and the altos with the violins. Okay? You have three men's voices to listen to. The first man is a very famous tenor, Pavarotti, and he's going to sing from Rigoletto. This is the tenor. This is the highest male voice.
La donna è mobile, qual piuma al vento, muta d'accento e di pensiero. Sempre una labile, leggiadro viso, il fiato il riso e menzognero. La donna è mobile, qual piuma al vento,
It's going to go really high.
muta d'accento.
Right there. That's the tenor voice. So remember, this one is tenor voice, and he's with the strings, and he has a very characteristic sound that's very tenor, very high for a man. The orchestra's got boom, chick, chick, boom, chick, chick. That's the tenor voice. Now we have this guy. He's a baritone. He's in between. He's not quite as high as a tenor, but he's not as low as a bass. Starting right at about 20 seconds. This is the baritone. Okay, he's also with an orchestra, but I think you can hear that one. I can hear that one. It's all la 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 la. Very low, but he doesn't go quite as low as a bass and not quite as high as a tenor. Such a huge sound. So remember, the la 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 one is the baritone. And the bass, you can hear this one. I can hear this one. This is the easiest one for me to tell. The bass is so low. With piano. Okay, so you have three to listen to for the men. The tenor. The baritone. La 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 la. La 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 la. Okay, and the bass. Super low. Okay, those are the human voices, the registers of the human voices. Bass is the lowest. We go up. From bass, up it goes bass, baritone, tenor, alto, mezzo, and soprano. If I want to go down from the highest, it's soprano, mezzo, alto, tenor, baritone, bass. This is a really great video you can watch, and it goes back and forth between a mezzo, a soprano, and a soprano. And you can hear the difference between the bird of the soprano and the deeper sound of the mezzo, more in her chest. Now we move to the world instruments. We have 4 categories of world instruments. They are aerophones, these guys right here. They play using air. There's chordophones. These are early guitars. Lutes and mandolins, they play using strings. We have idiophones, these bells down here. You strike or rub metal. That's an idiophone. And a membranophone is this drum. And it's called a membranophone because it's made from a membrane, which means a skin, an animal hide. So you have 4 world instrument families. The air instruments, the aerophones. The chords or the string instruments, the chordophones. The striking, rubbing, shaking, or scraped, usually metal instruments like bells, idiophones. And the drums, which are a piece of animal hide stretched over something, those are membranophones. And your registers, just think of them as going from low to high. Register simply means the range that the voice or instrument plays in. A piccolo plays in a very high range. A tuba plays in a very low range. That is chapter 9.